Warning. This podcast contains spoilers.
Third World Cinema Club.
Hello! Welcome to yet another special episode.
Special again.
Yes,
Charing.
very special because it's just the three of us. While everybody is doing their Christmas parties.
Yes.
It's the 13th month. 13th month. 13th month pay. Tama. So Friday the 13th month pay. Yes. By the way, this is Third World Cinema Club and you're with me, Princess Kinok of Film Police Reviews.
I'm John Tawasel of Present Confusion.
And I'm Jim of Jimmy Licolate Bapa.
All right, so today we will be discussing online favorites because of
Netflix to.
yes, Netflix online favorites, The Irishman and
Marriage Story.
Marriage Story. Yes. Okay, so let's do the most recent one, Marriage Story first. Okay, so Marriage Story, directed by Noah Baumbach, starring Scarlett Johansson and
Adam Driver.
It tells about the story. Si Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver both play a married couple who is about to go into divorce. So this film tackles the intimate he said, she said kind of storytelling in ways that are much more detailed and much more empathic than ever. So who wants to go first?
Sige, ako na lang.
Okay.
Sige.
Ayan. I'm not sure if you've seen yung The Annulment ni Mac Alejandre.
Ay, there.
Pero,
there.
pero if you strip everything down, they're basically similar. Parang it's a story about a breakup. A love story about a breakup.
Yeah.
Pero Marriage Story makes that makes The Annulment look like yung libag sa paa ko. Kasi ganun siyang walang kwenta compared sa Marriage Story. Marriage Story is a really nice film.
Yes.
Well acted.
Yes.
Of course, well written. I'm not sure if it's Baumbach's best. Debatable yon.
Yeah.
Pero it hits all of the emotional beats. Hindi lang, I guess for me, it didn't hit the emotional beats for me as well as it did other people. Yun lang. Pero very one of the year's standout films.
Yes. I agree.
Yes, Jim.
Go ahead. Ikaw muna.
For me, it's a mix of a lot of emotions.
There.
And what I liked about the film is that it tackled the intimacy of both marriages in both perception. Tapos parang nandun din yung element na what people think about their marriage. So yung may outer views sila through dun sa dalawang lawyers. And then at the same time, yung struggle nila with the kid. And meron din siyang similarity for me nung sa Irishman na later kong sasabihin. Which is, for this one, yun nga, parang ang view ni girl is ganito, view ni guy is ganyan. Kaya parang, paano mo ba masasakyan yung adventure ng isa't isa? Paano nila masasakyan yung adventure ng isa't isa? And I also like yung may musical element doon, which is yung kinanta niya nila sa Being Alive, which actually is from a musical called The Company ni Stephen Sondheim, which gives more depth sa characters nilang dalawa bilang more inclined sila sa musicals. So yung Being Alive na kinanta ni Adam Driver towards the end, pati yung kanta nung may isang kanta doon yung parang I forgot yung title, basta parang about lunch ata, na kinanta ni Scarlett with her mom and her sister. So very similar din dun sa premise ng Company. And it's about seeing different relationships. So yun. So for me, it's the complete package of a love story gone wrong, or that's ending. It's both sad and cruel and very very, very real.
Iba rin yung take namin ng best friend ko. Kasi, parehas kami ng best friend ko, watch this film sa bahay nila. So, nung una, di ba, tawag dito, voice-over narration sila. Diba? So, ang unang reaction niya, ano to? Sharon Cuneta, Richard Gomez, star film about separation, ganon. And then, ganon kasi yung naramdaman namin dun sa first part ng Marriage Story. Although, syempre, nabanggit ko rin naman sa post ko sa FB na, even sa Twitter, sorry, na yung Marriage Story kasi, it's very American. Diba? Kasi sa atin dito in Philippines, hindi pa legalize ang divorce. So, sa kanila, legal lang divorce. And then, ang nagandahan ako dito sa film kasi both sila Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson bigayan Hindi sila yung sapawan. Ganun. Although may mga moments lang na I felt na na-outshine ni Adam Driver, even nila Laura Dern and Alan Alda, si Scarlett. But all of them, kahit ma-nominate sila for Oscar sa acting categories, okay naman. Ganon. And then, another film na siguro, hindi naman siya totally the same, pero yung somewhat medyo pwedeng i-compare ay yung Kramer versus Kramer. Although in this film kasi, in Marriage Story, mas naramdaman ko yung bigat because yung pag-breakdown ng gastos, ganon. Yun yung nang mahal pala ng divorce.
Hindi
sa
siya
America. Hindi siya, hindi siya yung parang akala mo madali ganon. So, may mga parts dun sa film na parang I felt both these characters were selfish, ganon, or self-centered. Yung pala, as the the film, habang tumatagal, makikita mo na, okay, para kasing, di ba, syempre, may sarili rin namang pangarap si Nicole, di ba, played by Scarlett Johansson, na yun yung na-ignore ni Charlie, played by Adam Driver. So, nung pinapanood namin ito ng best friend ko, ang hindi namin makalimutan, si Laura Dern, because of the, di ba may dialogue siya regarding kailangan perfect kang perfect ang pagiging mother kasi tawag dito, model siya with Mary Mother of Jesus, di ba? Ganon. And sa akin naman, ang touching moment naman sa film ay yung part ng kay Alan Alda kasi para siyang father niya dito ni Adam Driver, ni Charlie, di ba? Although, yun nga lang, naman lang tayo, si Ray Liotta na pala.
Oo, kinuha niya. Kasi he needed someone who's an asshole din.
Ganon. Sorry, another highlight pa ng film ay yung syempre yung confrontation scene nila, di ba, ng labasan nila ng sama ng loob, yung cathartic effect nilang both mag-asawa, di ba, na doon, bihira kasi yung, hindi man bihira, parang bilang lang yung mga moments ng isang actor na emotional siya, and then it's an emotional breakdown na for me, nakakaiyak kasi ito yung naglabas siya ng sama ng loob niya with Nicole and at the same time sa sarili niya. Ganon. Yun muna.
Ako, other than yung confrontation scene, yung isang scene na nag-stand out sa akin is one closer to the end of the film. Kasi at the beginning of the film, meron kang scene na si Adam Driver at si Scarlett Johansson, they're reading things about their partner na sinulat nila na hindi nila ma-express directly through words. Tas may mirror nun near the end of the film kung saan parang umulit yon pero iba na yung emotional context kasi it happens almost immediately after the confrontation scene.
Ito yung binabasa na niya yung
binabasa niya yung letter ni Scarlett Johansson ulit. Na tipong, this is the relationship that was and is no more. Na, yun na, wala na. And also, there's this metaphor na early on in the film na naglalaro sila ng Monopoly. Tapos yung parang patutsa nila sa isa't isa, you're too competitive.
Yes.
Which reflects talaga both of their, yung attitudes towards the divorce at first. Kasi nung una, parang, I want to have it all. So they get the best lawyers, they try to get the best strategies, unahan sila. Pero in the end, parang what they really want is just to separate amicably. And parang the process, kumbaga the legal process or their their character flaws, I guess, parang it gets into the way of the process itself, yung process na gusto nila. Kaya yun, it's a nice parang it's a nice depiction of that. And I think semi-autobiographical to.
Yes, with Noah Baumbach. Saka
Kay
experience
Noah
with
Baumbach.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, yung ex-wife.
Really?
With Jennifer Jason Leigh, hango sa experiences niya doon.
Kinalabutan to.
This was conceptualized after Baumbach made the Meyerowitz stories. So doon siya humugot. Pero he wanted talaga to go into the minutiae of the divorce process. Tapos nag-build siya ng story around that. Gusto ko rin i-note na yung in the course of 2 Halloweens, yung kinosplay ni Adam Driver is number 1 as the Invisible Man.
Oh, the Invisible Man.
Pangalawa sa Ghost.
Oo.
So parang ako yung taong hindi mo nakikita.
Oo.
Parang ganun yung tama niya sa akin. Parang patama ba ni Baumbach na sa relationship na to, hindi na ako nakikita. Ganun.
Sa ngayon.
Sa ngayon.
Ganun na siya. Kasi tama. Kasi
He's
di ba
not
parang
seen. He's the fifth Beatle. He's
Oo.
he's separate eh.
Sa first part din, di ba? Kasi siya yung bida eh. Siya yung director ng theater, Tapos siya yung nakakuha ng recognition. Tapos nung nandun na siya sa mundo na ginagawa ni Nicole for her and her son, siya na yung ghost.
Parang appendix siya,
na
ganun.
Oo. Tsaka yung bagong Invisible Man, di ba? Ay, hindi. Yung Invisible Man na story mismo, masama siya.
Masama siya.
Di ba?
Siya yung villain.
Siya yung villain.
May visual kaya with kasi yung last, di ba, a ghost. May visual parang reference ba yun to a ghost story ni
Hindi ko napanood kasi yung ghost story.
Oo nga.
Baka napanood ni Baumbach ang ghost story. Guy with a sheet on his head.
Tsaka yun, going back dun sa, kasi natuwa ko dun sa lyrics ng Being Alive. Tapos, may nabasa nga ako na dinigest niya yung story behind ng Being Alive na song. Yung kinanta ni Adam Driver.
Ang ganda na while he's singing it, parang may realization siya na.
Oo.
Parang shit, ito na yun.
Kasi nung una pala siyang sinulat siya as third party. Na parang, di ba yung lyrics dun na parang, I'm sitting here, one is sitting here, ganyan-ganyan, Kemerut, pondering about his life. Tapos pinalitan siya, ginawa siyang personal. Tapos may napanood akong isa pang version nun nung Being Alive na ang happy. Parang, sabi ko, ang ganda nung song. Tsaka pinakinggan ko rin yung original.
Hindi ko napanood pa yung Lady Bird pero sabi nila ginamit din daw sa Lady Bird ang Being Alive.
Being Alive.
Ay, hindi
Pero
ako
kasi pa si Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig.
Mag-partner sila. Tsaka yun yung natutuwa ako sa kanilang dalawa. Kasi parang ever since na napanood, basta may napanood ako isang short film nilang dalawa for the first time.
Oh, gumawa sila together?
Ata, ganun. Tapos sabi ko, before yun nung Frances Ha, ni Greta. Sabi ko, parang, ang galing nilang dalawa gumawa ng story out of something very intimate. Parang yun yung forte nilang dalawa, no? Na parang, kunwari, sa Lady Bird, parang intimate look ng isang teenager na very awkward siya, pero has a lot of things to say about the
Silang
world.
dalawa, they make very grounded stories.
Very, very grounded. No?
Talagang
Tsaka,
about normal people.
and then
doing
you find out
stuff.
na, they're interesting pala, no? Tapos parang, pati sa marriage story, parang, kaya sabi ko, para siyang John Cassavetes na film.
A Woman Under the Eagle.
Oo, kasi yung pag-play out ng sequences, ng pag-pan out ng framing, ganyan. Para siyang reminiscent ng mga 1980s, late 70s na films na like Hannah and Her Sisters, ganun yung dating na parang akala mo perfect lahat, biglang may twist, there's something wrong pala with their family, parang ganun. Tsaka gusto ko rin yung yung na-slice niya yung sarili niya by accident. Yung yung knife trick. Tapos yung itsura niya dun na dinadaan-daanan lang siya ng anak niya. 'Di ba? Na parang okay, ito na yung life niya na parang he's suffering kasi akala niya noong una parang pag pinakinggan mo yung palitan nilang dialogue, isipin mo nga na selfish si Nicole. Pero actually, ang mas selfish dun si Guy kasi
totoo.
Pagkaalis ni girl sa life niya, hindi niya kilala yung sarili niya na parang who's gonna cook me food? Who's gonna tie my shoes? Who's gonna clean my house? Who's gonna take care of my kid? Ganyan.
Actually, ganyan din di ba si Dustin Hoffman in
Sa
Kramer versus Kramer.
Pero ang kulang lang dito yung courtroom drama.
May
courtroom
din
naman.
sila. Pero ang ganda rin ng courtroom drama kasi halata mo they're not talking and someone else is
Talking for them.
Oo.
Ang ganda rin ng performance ng mga lawyers.
Oo.
Tatlo sila, si Laura Dern for sa side ni ScarJo. Sa side naman ni Adam Driver, si Alan Alda, tsaka si Ray Liotta.
Parang
Although medyo limited lang yung kay Ray Liotta.
and kay Alan Alda.
Si Alan Alda is
Hindi, oo.
Actually,
medyo
brief lang
felt
siya
yung presence niya kahit nandun sa huli.
Kahit saglit lang siya. No?
Kasi he's a good person more than he wants
Something.
he wants what's best for both parties instead of what's best lang para kay Charlie.
Oo.
Which unfortunately kaya siya sinisante ni Charlie kasi ganun yung kanyang pananaw. Pero in the end bumalik din siya dun sa original settlement.
Saka ang naisip ko with Alan Alda's character, kaya siya ganun. Kasi diba in-explain naman niya na parang fourth marriage na, diba niya? So, if I'm not mistaken,
he knows, he
knows na eh. Alam na niya yung pinagdadaanan nung process nung nagda-divorce. Alam na niya yung experience, naramdaman niya. And naramdaman ko yun dun sa character niya, dun sa characterization ni Alan Alda, yung maturity. Diba? Kaya yun yung ang ganda nung moment sila ni Adam Driver doon. Kasi hindi natin nakita yung history ng family niya
ni
Adam Driver, ni Charlie. 'Di ba? Parang binigyan lang tayo ng glimpse sa dialogue nila na nag-aaway sila ni Scarlett Johansson.
Ang ganda din nung father and son relationship nila. Kasi parang nagmukha tuloy siyang man-child. Kasi yung sa last part na binasa niya yung letter, which started out as him teaching him how to read, di ba? Tapos hanggang sa his own words would actually fail him pala. Parang ganun. Ang galing ni Adrian. Ni Adam Driver. Si Adrian.
Natawa ako doon sa isang meme na may nag-post parang may line si Adam Driver from doon sa argument. Tapos yung framing nun parang ano yung sabi niya, don't you dare compare me to my father.
Star Wars.
Star Wars episode 9. Kasi ako nga naman.
Oo nga pala. Okay.
Tapos yung naman din, nung nag-aaway sila, may confrontation nila, yung emotional confrontation nila ni Scarlett Johansson. Nung sinasabi ni Adam Driver na, I wish, parang yung wini-wish na sana na nagkasakit na lang siya, nasagasaan siya. Pero Vilma Santos lang to, yung tag-ulan sa tag-araw. Kasi ganun yung
sana namatay ka na lang.
Sana namatay ka na lang.
Alam mo ba, pagising ko, gusto ko, sana namatay ka na lang.
Oo, ganun.
Sana magkaroon ka ng sakit. Ganun.
Nauna pala si Celso Had doon. Mauro Giesa Monte.
Which is 80s din, di ba?
No, that's 70s. That's 70s.
Diba? Very 70s, 80s yung feel niya sa akin. Na, yun nga, parang yun yung mga era ng sad, lonely films na ang framing ng poster nila yung may ganun.
Diba? Kasi diba nung 50s kasi, nandun yung parang notion ng perfect family. Diba? Yung kailangan role model ng tatay, nanay. Pero sa dialogue nga diba ni Laura Dern, totoo yun. Kasi noon, absentee father diba? Lately na lang, yung sinasabi na kailangan yung tatay nagre-reach out, kumo-connect. Pero noon hindi ganun. Kaya parang we thought na yung perfect family na model siya nung 50s when in fact during that time din nagkaroon na ng sexual revolution. Okay,
Oo.
naiba natin topic, charot. Anyway, nadaanan lang naman.
Di, tsaka sakto kasi kaya sila ganun dahil everyone is parang trying to redeem themselves from the depression sa nung wow, naging history sa 50s 40s
Alam ko 30s yung Great Depression
40s, 50s,
Although nagkaroon tayo ng
60s.
depression yung economy ng Amerika 2008.
2008. Yun. So, kaya yung 50s, minodel siya that way para mapakita na yun nga, yung consumerism, capitalism is, it works against the, yung failed economy nila. So, kaya parang ang ganda din na ginawa siyang plethora ni Noah Baumbach ng experiences niya pala. I didn't know that na. Ano pala yun? Semi-biographical pala.
At natuwa daw si Jennifer Jason Leigh sa film.
Ang cute!
Gusto niya daw
Feeling
yung
ko, yun nga, siguro akma din, no, na parang friends sila in real life din. Kasi, siguro, yung parang what he's trying to say to us is that it doesn't, yun nga, sabi naman ni Nicole dun, di ba, na parang mahal niya pa rin yung role ni,
si Charlie.
Pero, it's just that, you have to go through that. Di ba? Ang sad. Pero, siguro,
Lalo na yung finale na pinatay na yung shoes niya.
Oo.
Parang, ang sad.
oo, tapos,
Parang
Nalalungkot lang ako.
they will still be there for each other,
Oo.
even though they're no longer
Pero it will never be the same.
together. It will never be the same.
It will never be the same.
Kasi talaga, it's a big event talaga, divorce eh. You have to, kung ayaw mo na talaga. That's true. Although, you have to be ready for the process that will follow.
kaya kids, choose your partners well. So, ayun, any final words, questions, realizations about Marriage Story?
Wala naman.
Alam mo, I'm still wondering if I would have had the same experience kung napanood ko to sa sinihan instead of sa Netflix
Actually,
lang.
oo.
Napanood ko siya sa Netflix pero hindi sa phone. Sa malaking TV ko siya napanood.
Did you pause?
No.
Hindi.
As in, I cried from the last, yung after the first half, second half,
Aha.
naiiyak na ako na parang, don't do this. Parang, parang ako yung anak nila pero girly side, ganun. Girl version na, na hindi na gusto ko magkabalikan yung parents ko, gano'n.
Kasi may iisip mo rin, di ba sabi mo last house pero nagbigla.
Okay lang.
Tawag dito, kulang ba sila ng communication? Di ba nandun eh?
Oo. And
That's true. I mean, it's a lack of communication that causes this.
Kailangan umabot sa divorce.
Tas
Diba,
ano
mga
eh,
ganong thinking
talking talaga.
tsaka ang ganda kasi 'di ba, they had a strict kind of na sinilagay yung na-trick tayo somewhat na parang yun pala alam niya, mahal pala nila isa't isa ganun sa umpisa. And then hindi nila dinare na i-read out loud yung sinulat nila. 'Di ba?
Hindi nila masabi.
Oo.
Actually, nasabi siya ni Adam Driver. Pero si Scarlett, yung
Hindi niya masabi. Doon talaga doon inherent doon yung fundamental problem ng relationship. I mean, nagsasalita sila pero yung sa loobin nila talaga, hindi nila na
Saan mo pala siya
isasabi.
napanood? Sa phone or sa TV?
Sa
din?
TV, although I had to pause sa gitna. I mean, it's not, hindi naman siya ganun kahaba.
Oo.
I mean, there are longer films. Pero, alam mo, busyness, schedule.
Oo. Ikaw sa TV din.
Yun nga, kasi yung best friend ko yung may account ng Netflix, ako wala. Nakinood lang din. Oh.
Ayun.
Alright.
Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is The Irishman. Ayun, so si DJ will be arriving in a bit. Nandito na siya sa sa
Somewhere.
mall. Somewhere. Paging. Wow, nakakonect pala to sa
Napatingin tuloy ako.
Lalakad.
Ito siya.
sa audio system nila. Paging. Mr. DJ Ramones.
So, Irishman.
Yes, so The Irishman. Jim, would you like to do the honors in introducing to us?
Ano?
The Irishman.
The Irishman. The Irishman set in the... Wait. Nakalimutan ko bigla. Kasi parang ilang
Directed
decades
by-
yun eh. Oo, ilang decades yun eh.
So, directed by Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, Martin Scorsese.
Based
stars-
on a book
Yeah, based
called
on a book.
I Paint Houses. Ba
I
yun?
heard you paint
Heard You Paint
houses.
I Heard You Paint Houses. Yun.
It's also the parang yun yung title niya talaga eh. Before it
Oo.
was changed for some reason.
To the Irishman. Some would... sige.
Sige, it stars, syempre, Robert De Niro as the titular character, and then Al Pacino as Jimmy Hoffa, ganon, and Joe Pesci. Yeah. Co-starring Anna Paquin. Ganon. Sorry, nakalimutan ko lang yung spanning ng decade.
Okay lang.
Na mental.
Early
Okay.
50s ba to? Early 50s siya,
Yeah,
no?
early 50s.
Ah.
Up to
1990s.
90s.
Early 2000s.
Ay,
Oh,
yeah,
early
yeah, thank you for
2000s.
correction. Early 2000. Ganun.
Si John parang nakatingin sa atin, you guys had one job.
Guys, one job!
Naano ko rin
The joke lang. Kaya ako hindi masyado nagsasalita ngayon kasi may sipon ako. That's why my voice sounds like this.
You guys had one job. Game.
Ano ba? Siyempre, ito nga, bida si Robert De Niro dito as the titular character. And then, ang alam natin, nagtatrabaho siya sa slaughterhouse first. You know. But then, naalala kong haba ng film eh. Sorry ha. Nakakaya
So
pag
the
mali
film
yung
is 3 hours long
Yeah, 3 hours and 30 minutes.
and 37 minutes.
Haba pala talaga.
Oo.
Oo. Kasi naalala ko
yung...
yung...
sa Love Diaz eh. Parang short film lang ni Love Diaz yun.
Kasi naalala ko na ba nangyari? So, sobrang haba.
So he is a contractor for a butcher shop.
Yeah.
And then apparently he gets connected with Joe
Joe
Pesci's character,
I forgot lang.
who is
din.
actually a leader of a mafia.
Yes.
or a
Buffalino, right?
Buffalino mob. Who is connected with all sorts of people. So alam niyo naman yung mga stories ng mob.
Yes.
Connected silang lahat. From Little Italy to, Brooklyn and wherever else in the world. Ganon. To Sicily, ganyan.
Yeah. The Godfather.
Oo. And ayun. So it's 3 hours long and a lot of people have made connections to this one and Martin Scorsese's other films.
Yung mga Goodfellas.
Yeah, Goodfellas.
Casino.
And ayun nga. So it's like a comeback movie for the three
Yes.
since sila yung favorite actors ni Martin Scorsese.
Si Al Pacino yata, first time niya na makasama.
Martin Scorsese?
No.
Hindi,
Kasi ang-
Raging Bull.
No, Raging Bull is Robert De Niro. Joe Pesci.
Si Martin
From Raging Bull,
Scorsese.
Goodfellas, and Casino.
Oo.
Magkasama sila.
First
Ang
time ba
pinakala
niya?
ko Joe Pesci, Home Alone.
Ako rin, Home Alone, saka With Honors.
Oo.
Gusto ko yung With Honors.
Ako rin,
It's one of my
With
favorites.
With Honors ba yung kasama niya yung nasa...
Si Brendan
Brendan
Fraser.
Fraser, saka si Moira Kay.
Okay. Oh, parang napanood ko na yun. Pero hindi ko matandaan. Hanapin ko mamaya.
Inuulit-ulit ko yun
Gusto ko yun
every...
Christmas,
ano yun eh,
ganon?
Christmas-ish.
Oo, Christmas-ish yung ano.
Ako yung...
Christmas film.
Saka yung theme song kasi niya, I'll Remember, kay Madonna.
Okay. Yun pala yung theme song nun. Ang pang-Christmas ko na pinaulit-ulit ko na hindi usual, yung Mixed Nuts talaga. Si Steve Wow, napunta tayo sa Christmas to.
Merry Christmas!
Medyo lumiko
Die
kami,
Hard na
pasensya
din,
na.
gano'n.
Although siyempre pag Christmas, naalala ko, It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, It's a Wonderful Life talaga. Si Lolo, yun eh.
James Stewart.
James Stewart eh. Yun nga si Mixed Nuts, si Steve Martin yun eh. Tsaka sila si Steve Martin, tas si Masayon, marami siyang kasama dun. Parang suicide hotline sila.
Ay, really?
Nag-work, oo.
Okay.
Tas kung sino-sino nakuha nilang mga characters on Christmas Day na gusto mag-suicide. Tapos
Okay.
pinipigilan nila ganyan.
Going back.
Going back to The Irishman.
The Irishman. So,
Okay.
nakita-witness natin na spanning ilang decades, di ba, na tawag dito, partnership nila Joe Pesci, Buffalino, ganun, and The Irishman, si Robert De Niro. Then suddenly, nagkaroon siya ng connection with Jimmy Hoffa, played brilliantly ni Al Pacino. And then soon, dun nakita natin yung dilemma ng characters ni Robert De Niro kasi nandun yung tama bang term to, allegiance or something na, 'di ba? Kasi Jimmy Hoffa, meron talaga siyang attitude, di ba?
Oo,
May stand talaga siya, di ba? Regarding something. However, nababangga kasi yung ibang connections, di ba? Na related with Buffalino, gano'n. And then, ayun, ang haba na nangyari, dami nangyari, ganyan. And then makikita natin na Robert De Niro's character is not close with her daughters.
His daughters.
Ayun. So, yun. As far as I recall, tama ba?
Tama, yun. So, very aptly titled naman yung dalawang titles, yung si I Heard You Paint Houses and si The Irishman. I think yung si The Irishman, ginamit siyang reference sa Goodfellas. Parang may part kasi dun sabi niya, ako lang ang Irishman dito. Yung character ni Robert De Niro yung nagsabi.
Okay.
So, I think apt din kasi may part din dun sa film na sinabi niya na Irish siya.
Pero not literally Irish.
Parang kumbaga, siguro it's kind of a terminology na siya yung odd one out. Which is tama naman kasi hindi siya galing sa mayamang Italian family. Tas henchman lang talaga yung role niya all throughout the film. And then at the same time, outsider din siya sa sarili niyang family. Although yung wife niya aware sa activities niya. Pero kahit siya, yung observation ko dun sa film, well, maliban sa ninarrate niya talaga yung 3-hour na film, parang it's an observation of someone's life na kung ano yung nakita natin dun sa film, yun lang yung na-observe niya about himself. That's why napaka-important ng role ni Anna Paquin for me. And natuwa ako na sa kanya binigay yung role na yun kasi parang at an early age na witness niya na yung papa niya is not a good person. So that's why lagi lang siyang mute. And then one sentence lang yung sinabi niya all throughout the film, which was, paparating na po si DJ. Paparating na po. Ayun. All throughout the film, yun nga, yung dialogue niya lang was, why didn't you call her his wife? Parang ganun. So, yun. So, yun. My take on the film is that it's actually very good and very precise yung editing. I like the way that he managed to jump from one decade to another without boring me. I don't know why other people were bored.
With Irishman.
Siguro kasi I'm excited to learn what's next. Ano kaya mangyayari next? Ganun.
Although ang napansin ko lang dun with Irishman, yung sa phone scene, pitik siya eh. Pero I don't know if it's intentional, di ba, with Thelma Schoonmaker. Kasi sabi ko sayang, maganda na sana yung moment. Kasi emotional moment yun eh. Biglang parang pitik na
kasi yun nga yung memory niya. Di ba napansin mo, medyo awkward siya. Ito ba yung phone call niya sa wife? Awkward siya, di ba? Parang pag upo niya, he's very stiff. Pero pag upo niya, bigla siyang napasay. Yung parang kabado siya. Tapos nung tinawagan niya, sige, I'm just gonna comfort you. Ganun. Kasi yun yung memory niya nung day na yun eh. Na parang he wanted it to go matapos na. Parang ganun. Ayoko na pagdaanan to kasi it's very emotional.
Okay.
So, how about you, John?
Okay, The Irishman. It's a very interesting entry from Scorsese. I remember yung dialogue niya about Marvel films. Ganyan-ganyan. It's not cinema. Ganyan-ganyan. Pero kung isipin mo, The Irishman is like the Marvel movie. The Marvel movie of mob cinema. Kasi parang, paano kaya kung i-reunite natin si De Niro, si Joe Pesci, si Harvey Keitel,
Uy, kami
si De
Parang
Niro,
mo kapit-bahay mo lang.
si Pacino in one film. Parang wow. Tapos, I mean, you know where it's going. For the most part, alam mo naman yung mangyayari kay Jimmy Hoffa. Diba?
Yeah, kasi history yun.
Even if you don't, pero what sets it apart is the last hour of the movie. Ako, ang comparison ko is to a film by a master who is in his twilight years. Parang Madadayo or Ran ni Akira Kurosawa. It's one of his, parang this is a filmmaker and not auteur looking back at his career. Parang, I guess in a metafictional way, parang ina-analyze niya, parang ano ba tong nagawa ko? It's about someone looking at the parang the sunset of his life. And additionally, from that, ayun nga, na-appreciate ko yung usage of silence ni Anna Paquin. Kasi it's very it's very telling na wala siya sinasabi masyado. Parang she knows.
Oo, alam niya.
Nadala niya nadala sa looks yung maybe another actress could have done the same thing.
Yes.
I mean, maraming magagaling na actress dyan. Pero Anna Paquin did it.
Yeah.
Or also yung it really parang I guess it tries to deconstruct the hindi naman niya pinoportray as chivalrous dati yung mga mobsters pero it shows you the futility of this kind of life and na kahit to the very end hindi pa rin siya umaamin sa ginawa niya. It's also a journey for parang self-forgiveness din kasi at the very end literally may bukas na pinto. Parang the door is open for him to accept or to atone for what he has done. Kahit na sobrang tapos na yung buhay niya. And sobrang nag-iisa na lang siya. There's a lot of regret in it At talagang this is a movie of an old guy. Parang this is a movie of an old guy looking back Kaya yun.
Feeling ko kung ako rin siya at that age, ganun din yung gagawin ko movies. Kasi he earned the right to be at that stage, at that age din. Pero feeling ko yun nga, parang kunyari si Kurosawa, he made films about dreams.
Yeah, Dreams.
Diba?
I think it's one of his second to the last films.
Dreams nga.
Na he was, alam mo, pag pinod mo siya, parang it's a combination of everything he did in his,
In his career.
Na parang,
And
may
yet,
samurai dito. Okay.
Yeah,
And
but
then,
it if you see it, it's very different compared to his previous films in terms of tone. Kasi for some reason, yung unang-una kong Kurosawa na napanood was Dreams back in the 80s. Bata pa ako noon. Sa Channel 2 pa to. Parang, wow, ano tong pelikulang to? Yung pala, yun, ako yung Kurosawa's Dreams. Tapos, it's very contemplative, abstract siya. Kasi yung mga previous films ni Kurosawa, kung hindi yung Jidaigeki niya, yung mga samurai niya. It's about social issues, mga social realist films like Ikiru or
High and Low yung isa doon.
Yeah, yung mga Redbeard.
pero
Yun
for me, yung Dreams, para siyang para siyang
Hindi ko pa kasi napanood yung Dreams.
mediation cinema, ganun for me. Na parang,
Meditative.
oo, meditative siya na, okay, an old man would really do this.
Kasi if he's looking back, at mas lalo na ang madadayo is it's literally about a teacher na magre-retire, diba? Na yun nga, he's looking back at the life he lived.
Tsaka gusto ko yung interpretation na kaya kahit matanda na yung role ni Anna Paquin, hindi pa rin siya nagsasalita. And then puro gasp lang siya kasi nga, yun yung memory niya ng anak niya na they never spoke to each other.
Kumbaga din na niya sa
It
silent
helps nga, Yung binibuild na, ba't hindi mo ako, na binibuild yung na, wala talaga silang relationship at all.
Kaya nga 'di ba yung may mga film enthusiasts parang jokingly saying na yung role 'di ba before ni Anna Paquin, siya yung nag-i-interpret dun sa sinasabi ni Holly Hunter in The Piano ni Ada McGrath. Pero in this film, parang siya na si Ada McGrath kasi mute, 'di ba?
Mute siya. Please welcome to the stage,
Yes.
DJ Ramones.
Hello po. Hello.
Hello, DJ. So, how about you? What are your observations? with,
Irishman.
Irishman.
Similar naman na overall, parang most of the film is something you've seen na. Okay, mobster movie. Ang daming nangyari na violence. Pero same with John, na-appreciate ko yung framing story niya. Na from the outset niya, nostalgic na yung tone and approach niya. Parang yung merong road trip sila na sobrang mellow.
With maps. Complete with maps pa, no?
Cute nila yun.
May Yossi breaks pa. Mas mahaba pa Yossi break dun sa mismo
Siguro maiambag ko. Parang ang curiosity ko kasi at least si Robert De Niro nung pinopromote niya to sa mga late night show, sobrang political niya, di ba? Kasi, well, Robert De Niro is political na clearly anti-Trump siya and etc. So, hindi ko pa masyado napag-isipan, pero ano ba yung commentary nung The Irishman in 2019 America, ganyan. Kasi ang daming, well, being true to its time lang siguro na ang daming slurs, parang the Jews, ganyan. Jews washer women,
Oo.
yung generally yung diversity nung society ganun. Pero hindi ko alam kung masyado ko bang pinipilit or let's just think of it. It's really just a mob movie na parang self tribute ni Scorsese sa career niya and to all these actors that he has worked with. Ganun.
Tsaka din, no? Parang, if yun yung way, yun yung purpose niya, kaya ganun yung entry niya sa Netflix. Kasi parang he himself, he accepted the fact na, okay, we're not gonna...
Nagbago na yung
nagbago na yung landscape. So, all I have to do is ride with the times, pero still true to himself. No? Galing nung niya. And din, naging Marvel Cinematic din siya dahil 3 hours din.
The mob cinematic universe.
Kasi una
All of
isa
your
na eh.
favorite mobsters.
Goodfellas.
Si Ray Liotta nandun din,
Casino.
di ba?
Wala si Ray.
Parang
Wala
wala
siya
si
doon?
Si Ray Liotta lang yata yung wala.
Nandun siya sa Marriage Story.
Oh, nasa
Sa
marriage story
siya.
siya. Ayo.
Close, ganun.
Pero I wonder kung anong ma-feel ng mga parang mga kids na bago kay Scorsese, di ba? Parang ako naman, entry point ko kay Scorsese is The Departed. Tapos nung may namatay na major character, parang shocked talaga ako. So, dito parang ma-expect mo na, kaya nga sabi nga ni John, parang yung nangyari kay Hoffa, parang, spoiler alert, na, well, the way dinirect din yung buong sequence yun, di ba? Sobrang quiet, tapos may preparations, may tumitingin yung camera sa lahat ng Pero, ayun, ewan ko kung...
May tanong
Tas,
ako.
yun din pala eh. Di ba yung road trip nila na parang sobrang cute na at the start, it turns out to be the most tense
Oh, tense pala.
story arc of the entire film.
Oo.
Hindi pala siya chill lang na magre-reminisce lang sila all throughout. May
No.
mangyayari pala.
May
Nakala mo
mangyayari
bucket
pala.
list,
Oo.
pala may something.
Or may reunion silang pupuntahan, tapos yun na yung twilight years nila. Hindi pala.
May final mission.
Whoops!
Kaya yung framing story talaga yung actual story dito eh. Parang yung entire history, parang filler lang siya.
Oo.
Para ma-feel mo lang na, uy, marami nang pinagdaan
Na-
yung character.
Naalala niyo pala yung first 5 minutes, may parang lumabas na words.
Yung title nung book where it's based from, yun yung
yun.
lumabas.
I Heard You Paint
I Heard You Paint
I
Houses.
heard you paint houses.
Okay. Sorry. Ang bilis kasi. Parang
Parang The Irishman was never mentioned. Sa
Lumabas
movie.
siya, lumabas
Meron,
siya.
Lumabas ba siya?
lumabas
Lumabas
Parang
din.
binigay na yung parang ring, something.
Oo.
Okay.
Kasi
Here's
ito yung sinasabi
the-
na parang ikaw magiging Irishman ka na kasi pili lang yung taong
Mm.
bibigyan.
Kasi parang ang ko yun yung title card na nung pelikula eh. Parang-
Tsaka
Actually, akala
naalala-
ko chapter title siya. Since
Yun,
based
yun,
siya
yun,
sa
yun.
book.
Akala ko din. Parang, pero mabilis lang. Parang, ano yun? Parang, naka-drugs ba to siya? Dropping of words. Parang akala ko nga the whole film, magda-drop siya bigla
Baka
ng...
nagpa-Mike De Leon na siya.
Akala
Big
ko
words bigla na, big
in
words
the,
na.
sa gitna ng film, biglang Maynila. Sa Koko.
Sako ng
Ng liwanag. Kasi di ba siya nag-produce no, nung pag-restore no?
Guys, do you think this would have been better served as a miniseries instead of a movie? Or talagang it
Ako din
works best under the framework of a
Of an
cinematic?
epic crime film.
Ako,
Gusto ko
yeah.
yung
feel-
length niya yun.
Okay na sa akin to. Kasi wala nang tatapat sa ano ba yung isa pang mob series na,
Sopranos?
ayun, The Sopranos.
I've
Parang-
also heard comparisons between this film and Sergio Leone's Once Upon a Time in America.
Haba. Kaso
The life and times of mobsters din yun, and it
Oo.
ends very ambiguously.
Oo.
Kung ano, ba't si Robert De Niro napupunta sa mga
Gusto
sa
niya
mga
eh.
mob, sa mga gangster na ano.
Tsaka yun nga, kanina, sabi, yung sa Goodfellas, na-mention doon na siya yung Irishman. Yung role ni Robert De Niro. Saglit lang naman.
Have you heard about yung real life inspiration behind yung character ni De Niro?
Ay, ang binasa ko lang yung kay Jimmy Hoffa na curious kasi ako.
Yeah, he wrote a book talaga, I Heard You Paint Houses, na that claims all of these things.
Yes, oo.
Na medyo disputed yung ibang facts doon na siya ba talaga pumatay kay ganyan.
Pero sabi diba dun sa I Heard You Paint Houses, hindi naman,
It's not one-to-one. Diba?
Oo. Walang may Jimmy Hoffa pero walang yung Irishman or meron?
May
May Irishman or
Doon sa yung original na libro, kinlaim niya na siya yung pumatay or involved siya sa pagpatay.
okay.
Yung mga buhay pa na nag-investigate dun sa Hoffa case, say na this is probably not true. Parang lang, very peripheral lang involvement niya, if at all. Pero yun nga, it's still a nice film.
Oo.
Pero kasi very trying times yun eh. Parang kung ngayon takot tayong lahat sa data breach, ganun. Noong time na yun talagang matatakot ka sa CIA. Kaya posible din, parang may nabasa ko na
Hoover
posibleng
era CIA.
kinuha si Jimmy Hoffa ng CIA. Tapos bliname it yun sa mob. Ganun.
Kasi
May
ano siya
ganung angle.
union leader si Hoffa, di ba? Pero
Union
medyo
leader
corrupt na union
corrupt,
leader.
Oo.
Wag tularan union leader.
Oo,
Pero going
ganun.
back, no, nakita natin, di ba, in the film, ma-observe mo sa film na absentee father yung character ni Robert De Niro with Anna Paquin. Tapos, close siya with Jimmy Hoffa. Ang ganda nung relationship nung character ni Anna Paquin, even
Oo.
the young Anna Paquin,
With
Si
kay
Jimmy
with
Pacino.
Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa, played
Oo.
by Al Pacino.
Kasi plagued naman kasi si Peggy sa character ng papa niya. Kasi bata pa lang nakita niya. Tapos parang, yun nga parang, ginatungan niya nung sister niya na, we're not, basta parang hindi kami sa'yo. It's just that we're all afraid of you. That's why, hindi kami lumalapit sa'yo.
Tapos si
pag may
Hoffa,
request.
he had this parang,
Charming persona siya.
oo,
Na he's,
and
tsaka sinabi doon na,
yung-
parang everyone wants to be like him. Kasi union leader nga siya.
yung pagkakaintindi ko, yung perception ni Peggy kay Hoffa is, he's this guy who's fighting for the common man Instead
Hindi niya
of
alam
yung,
na-
May eksena yung nasa school siya.
yeah,
nagre-report siya about
I'm
Hoffa.
proud to be, ganyan.
Ayun. So, any more observations, questions, analogy about The Irishman?
Gusto ko lang i-note yung sinabi yung si Sight and Sound na critic, si Mark Kermode, tungkol dito sa film na to. Parang,
Ano miss ko ng sight and sound?
Sight and Sound nga ba, The Guardian, basta one of those things. Of The Observer. Sabi niya, he compared this to the ending of Scorsese's previous film, Silence,
Oh.
which is itself a remake of a Japanese film. Pero that's another story. At the end of Scorsese's Silence, parang kumbaga yung central mystery of a conflict of faith in the main character is directly addressed, as in sinagot niya. So nawala yung ambiguity. That's why he didn't like that film that much.
Okay.
In The Irishman, the ending is more ambiguous. Ayun nga, like I said, the door is left open to what will happen next. So that's why he liked it a bit more.
Pero yung pag-iwan niya ng open and door, di ba callback yun dun sa habit ni Hoffa?
Yeah, it's baka, who knows?
Although vague pa rin niya siya. Although parang ina-acknowledge lang niya si Hoffa with that habit. Pero
True, yeah.
what does it mean? Parang
Also, for me, at a thematic level, parang he's now, quote-unquote, open to the possibility of maybe confessing, of atoning for sins, or maybe he's just considering it na hindi naman talaga niya gagawin.
Saka, siguro sinadya siyang ambiguous kasi the mob itself is ambiguous. Hindi mo alam kung tapos na ba siya, where did it start. Ay, oo, alam mo saan siya nag-start, pero hindi mo alam kung may operations pa ba sila ngayon, ganun. Kasi parang feeling ko, kaya, ewan ko, parang, is it somewhat a homage to yung mga nahuhuling mobsters pala, na parang, they pretend to be someone else, hindi na sila yung dati na ng personalities. Parang kasi may nabasa akong ganun. mga
Parang
dati.
nagbabagong buhay na sila, ganon. Pwede naman.
Kasi-
It's possible. Yeah, that's an interesting reading of it.
Wala lang. Kasi, tsaka di ba parang, dun sa last part, yung suot niya parang vet cap na veterans cap na, hindi na siya yung parang yung,
He served in the war naman, di ba?
so parang he took back his own
Identity.
in a way, na he's still true to dun sa pinangarap niyang life na glamorous nga, pero siya lang pala magsusurvive, ganun.
pinangarap niya.
Parang pinangarap niya mag-rise ng ranks. Kaya siya sumali dun sa
Sa army.
kaila
Kay Buffalino.
Parang
Buffalino.
hindi ko nakuha yun. Parang to me more of like binabalik lang niya yung favor. Parang
utang na loob.
He thought of himself more as a soldier lang talaga following orders. Parang hindi siya ambitious, pero sinuwerte lang siya.
Oo.
#blessed lang siya.
Pero
Hashtag
hindi
blessed.
siya parang ambitious. Parang, dun sa part na yung in-exchange na yung mga baka, dinagdagan niya yung stock nila ng baka, tinanggal niya yung logo.
Yeah. Yung mga
Parang-
baby steps niya sa mobster.
Oo. Parang ginawa niya yun para ma-impress sa kanya yung may-ari ng butcher shop, which was part ng mob. Parang alam niya that these people exist and he wants to give a good life for his family. Kaya lang may consequences. Which is yun nga, yung hindi siya close sa mga anak niya, tas hindi siya family man, marami siya napatay na kaluluwa.
Mga matatanda na sila eh. Ito na yung mga senior actors. So, lately, hindi ko na napapanood si Al Pacino in a great film. Ganon. So, perfect sa kanya yung Jimmy Hoffa. Bagay sa kanya. Kasi Joe Pesci, hindi na rin naman siya gumagawa rin ng film. Sabi nga, magre-retire na sana siya. Napilit lang siya ni Robert De Niro to do this film, diba? Ganon. Kasi kahit paano si Robert De Niro nakagawa pa ng Silver Linings Playbook, and then The Intern, ganon. So, yan, Joker, although same year with Irishman. Pero before that, parang hindi yung mga in-between films niya, hindi na rin naman ganon kaingay eh. So, nakakatuwa kasi ito yung looking back din dun sa flourishing career nila before na ito, buti nakahanap na sila ng mga tamang role for them. Tapos, somewhat for me, I felt na outshine nila Al Pacino and Joe Pesci si Robert De Niro. Kasi nakikita ko na stronger performance yung kay Al Pacino and then kay Joe Pesci. Yan lang.
Alright. Nga pala, DJ, bago tayo mag-move sa next nating segment, could you say a few words about what you thought about Marriage Story?
Marriage Story.
Kasi hindi ka na umabot dun eh.
Ang ganda. Pangatlong Baumbach movie pa lang talaga napapanood ko. Pero naalala ko sa kanya kung bakit kinumpare nga yung sila ni Giancarlo Abrahan kay Baumbach in general. Kasi, parang i-describe ko siguro si Baumbach na very humane yung approach niya. Parang yun yung philosophy niya na kailangan as human as possible yung characters. May napansin ako na may habit talaga si Baumbach na very talky lahat ng movies di ba? Pero palaging may ginagawa yung characters niya na palaging may pinupulot na kape, ganyan, baso,
Nagpunta si Scarjo
etc.
sa, in-explain niya kung paano niya feel yung loneliness. Sa umpisa,
yung pumunta
naglalakad
siya
siya
ng
sa
banyo,
kwarto,
ganyan, tapos bumalik. Tapos yung sa sila, naalala ko talaga, hindi ko talaga makakalimutan yung kinakalmot ni Gio Gahol yung pader pero those little things na yun.
ganun nga, very real nga yung characters niya, Noah Baumbach.
Interesting na marriage story yung title pero divorce story talaga siya. So parang it's in denial or more of, hindi ko alam why did it choose that title ba?
Baka yun nga is trying to explore this marriage by its destruction. Parang ganun.
Kasi parang intimate versions siya ng isang marriage na it's not always the same path, same adventure.
Yeah.
Kasi they both want different things pala.
Okay. Punta tayo sa next segment natin. We'll be replacing temporarily our What Have You Watched Recently with a special pageant-themed.
Yes.
So, I'll ask
Pageant
Q&A. Pageant Q&A.
Pageant
So, meron akong
sounds.
5 topics of interest.
Si DJ.
Yan. They will randomly pick. And you will have 30 seconds to express your, Yan. Start tayo kay Princess.
Oh no.
Princess, choose a number from 1 to 5.
5.
This universe.
5, okay. So, your question is,
Oh my gosh.
recently, Vice Ganda said na comedy film, why are you against comedy films in the
Nakasmile ako sa
MMFF?
audience.
Why are you against comedy films in an MMFF? Comedy films are a genre in itself. Would you imagine a Christmas without comedy films in the MMFF? How do you respond to that, assertion by Vice Ganda. 1, 2, 3, go.
Well, it's been a while since we've seen comedy films that actually make a mark in a sense that are not copied or recycled from from different Filipino films over the years. It's okay to have comedies, especially in Christmas, kasi we're lahat tayo pagod, lahat tayo ay may tinutustos ng mga pamilya, mga 13th month pay. So, I believe that we should have better comedy films.
Okay?
Thank
Okay,
you so much.
Jim. Ikaw naman. Please pick a number from 1 to 4. 1 to 4.
3.
3. Okay. 3. Recently, there was a viral tweet that said that the viewer, that the tweeter liked Mick Red's Dead Kids. And
Okay.
it's a lot better than the other quote unquote cringy Filipino films
okay.
that are out there. So how would you better educate our cinema going audience na not all films are, how do you break that stereotype? Okay, go.
Actually, the government needs to intervene sa Philippine cinema kasi may mga magaganda tayong films produced in film festival. However, few lang yung nakakapanood nito. Hindi siya accessible, ganun. So, ang maganda naman kasi with Dead Kids, production ng Netflix. So, maraming nakakapanood. However, yun nga lang, hindi na hindi na discover ng other people yung movies from festivals. Yun lang.
Yeah. Ang hirap maging beauty pageant contestant no?
Kaya nga eh. So,
Ayan.
dapat manood sila.
And last DJ. Yan. Please pick a number 1, 2, or 4.
2.
2. Okay. So, yun nga. Mindanao came out. It's a very controversial film because it generalizes yung depiction, the struggles of the Mindanaoan people. And it uses the artifacts, ganyan, of the myths, the legends, to paint this parang lahat-lahatan na picture. So, what could filmmakers do to parang more responsibly depict
Natanong kayo, no?
those kinds of
30 seconds ito.
those kinds of cultures,
30
ganun.
seconds lang ha. Tandaan mo, 30 seconds lang yung sagot mo ha.
Sige, go.
Thank you for the question. I admit na hindi ako fully aware dun sa issues surrounding Mindanao, the movie, and we haven't seen the film yet, obviously. Pero I guess what's important is it's better to leave stories like this to people who actually belong to those kind of people, if that is the purpose, or at least be more responsible. Pero yan, naubusan tayo ng time.
Ayun. So, syempre, para fair, sasagutin ko din yung huling question.
Yes.
So, the last question would have been, recently, the CEB was removed of its ability to grant tax incentives for films rated A or B. So, ano yung masasabi ko doon, basically? So, start na. So, thank you for that wonderful question. I think the CEB's role is a bit redundant, given that, yun nga, wala nang tax rebates. In an ideal world, sana lahat ng local productions walang tax so that they can stay competitive with international productions. I think the government should step in and be more proactive in trying to protect our cultural resources. Thank you.
Umabot.
30 seconds yun.
Galing umabot.
So guys, thank you for listening to another episode of Third World Cinema Club.
Yes.
It's Christmas time, so Merry Christmas. We hope you're comfortable there, you're safe, you're having a good time, maybe vacationing,
So,
nakapagsaway.
yung pagkakasabi mo nung, it's Christmas time, parang Martha Stewart na. Anak ni Martha Stewart.
Wait, meron pa tayong best of 2019.
Ay,
May best of 2019 pa tayo. Let's not forget, very important person who was born this month. He's beloved by a lot of people. He's a great, great man.
What is happening to you?
He's none other than superstar Rajinikanth. His birthday was December 12.
Ay, happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
And
Sir
also-
Rajini, sir. And also, also, just joking, of course, very important birthday. Yasujiro Ozu.
Yes.
Yes.
The
Japanese
life
director.
and death of Ozu.
Yeah, very influential Japanese director.
Although nga pala sad din kasi recently ba, nabalitaan natin, namatay si Cesar
Miko.
Apolinario,
Akala ko si Miko pala.
the reporter.
And
Oo
Miko
nga.
Palaka na rin.
Miko Palaka na din.
So
Earlier
yun,
lang
rest
yung
in
kay
peace, you
Cesar,
guys.
Earlier.
no? Aw.
So until next time.
Yes.
Whenever that is.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.